The ocean is actually a wondrously colorful place. It's really one huge body of water that we all share.
Well, our mission here at SeaWorld is to make sure that after people come into the park, they leave having celebrated, connected, and caring for the world we share. And One Ocean is a perfect example of that.
It's really about inspiring people. We're all a part of this great big global community. The show is really a big celebration of this wondrous world of the ocean. One Ocean is a completely brand new show. It brings a lot of new elements to the stadium and to the audience.
We all have to come together, everybody from all different disciplines, and animal trainers come to the table, and directors, costume designers, and even design and engineering and set decorators. We all have to come together at one table and respect each other's expertise and actually contribute to each other's expertise.
The great thing is everyone thinks it looks easy, and that's great, but it's really a lot of hard work and a lot of collaboration, a lot of back and forth.
How do we know that we've been a success? It's when we see the faces of the crowd, when we hear the applause.
If we're able to touch them and entertain them, then we've done our job, and there is no other better satisfaction than that.
F sharp and 124, please.
Today we are recording our music for One Ocean. To finally hear the music come to life with all of the full orchestra, with the runs of the strings, with the passion that they're playing with, it really just brings all the emotion and the passion of the music that we built into this to the audience.
2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3.
You want to get the orchestra to sound as good as possible. You're listening for is obviously everyone being in pitch, hitting the right notes at the right time, coming together. And sometimes it's not just about the notes, it's about that special feeling when everyone comes together that you know that's the take, you know that's as good as it's going to get.
Once the mixing process is done, that's when it will be turned over to us, and that's when we can actually start using that music for our rehearsals. So for the first verse through chorus, that is just the call. Where we are right now with the music, we've got all the orchestra laid down on tracks. We also laid down all of our backup vocals. At the end of the bridge, there's a big accent before we get back into our chorus.
What they've given us so far is a very rough cut of the music. And as animal trainers, we've been kind of playing it in our cars and listening to it in the locker room and getting a feel for the music. And we visualize what behaviors might match music.
The score is very contemporary. It's got 3 major songs that tell our story of One Ocean.
Music is kind of the food for the soul. It really feeds our emotions, and so it really is the foundation for the whole piece. And the music really speaks to the heart and the essence of what the show is.
What's wonderful about the Shamu experience is that 5,000 people come in here and they are amazed and in awe and entertained, and they're educated along the way.
Having fun, sometimes you learn and you don't realize you're learning.
It's really about inspiring people to connect to the world that we share.
I can tell you from my own personal experience, I was affected by SeaWorld. As a junior in college who was here for spring break, it was raining at the beach and I came to SeaWorld, and I left completely inspired because of what I saw. Education and conservation have been at our core, and we're inviting people to see what goes on here at SeaWorld, not just in the regions of our park, but all over the world.
I think the power that we all have as an individual to make a difference with our environment, that one educational aspect that people would walk away from this show would be caring for our animal population and the natural environment.
We don't want to keep all of this to ourselves. We want to be able to share it. We want to impact everybody who comes into the stadium. We want them to be changed when they leave. We want them to know more about killer whales and care more about all of the oceans and all of the animals that we share this planet with.
We all are empowered to make a difference. You know, whether it's a simple act of recycling, we all in our daily actions make those differences. And when we combine them, it will make a difference.
One person can have an impact, and our species, certainly as a whole, can have a huge impact on the world we all share. This show, we really want to show the audience some of what we see every day when we're interacting with these whales, that they do really interact with each other and teach each other. We spend a whole lot of time just looking at the whales, watching them interact with one another, and there are actually segments of this show that are dedicated to trying to show the audience just how much we're inspired by them.
The trainers are really innovative. I mean, you have to be impressed with the passion and the commitment that these people bring to their work every day.
There's a general philosophy here, and that is a lot of the behaviors that we come up with come from watching them interact with one another.
One new element that we're adding to this show is the element of fountains.
We've been playing with the animals with hoses for years, and really what's neat about it is they show us what they'd like.
They love playing with water features anyway, so I think it's a natural, thing that they'll just enjoy. It's critical to the success of any show, the set design, that visual interpretation of what the show's message really is.
Designing One Ocean, it was a big challenge because you've got these magnificent creatures that you're trying to get the audience to focus on. The goal was to create a really beautiful environment that enhanced and showed off the whales.
First of all, Stan is just an amazing genius designer. His vision actually inspired me. So when I first saw his rendering, it was like, I get it. I get new visions coming from this.
This is a section, this is half of the wave wall that splits the whale tail in the center of the stage. The idea is that it has different thicknesses and textures of the mesh and also the acrylics, and so that it has the sort of quality that the ocean takes on.
Emanating from the base of the tail is what we call our Sea of Life sculptures, which, all of the sea creatures emanating from the base of that tail.
Over here is, this is the production line for the Sea of Life creatures. These are the smaller creatures. We have some creatures that are about 8 to 10 feet long, too, in the set. So it's pretty cool.
And we have specific protocols we follow when we're doing something like installing a huge, gorgeous set. The whales are kept out of any harm's way.
Okay, we're on stage here at Shamu Stadium, and actually it's the first time I've seen some of the pieces finished and in place. It's actually quite amazing. I'm kind of blown away by the whole thing.
It maybe doesn't alter this, maybe we modify something down there.
What's been great about the relationship with our set designer is he's just been so flexible. There's been at least 3 times where he's had to make huge adjustments based on the trainer's, well, I want this for my whales.
Seeing it all together and the shapes and how the PVC forms have come together and how it plays in the light, it's really exciting. I'm really excited.
I have the utmost respect for the trainers and what they do here. They are great collaborators and great partners, but they have such a passion for what they do and such a care for the animals.
Relationship is what the job is all about. It's why you come to work each and every day. These animals become more than just our friends. They become part of our family. We watch them grow, we watch them learn, and through it all, we're forming a bond with them.
I respect it. It's absolutely amazing to be able to see how they work with the whales. It's truly awe-inspiring.
And all of our training is based on positive reinforcement. We have a ton of ways that we can reinforce the animals. Even just rubbing them down, we can apply it in so many different ways. We have toys that we give them. We may play with them with ice. We pour buckets of water in their mouth. I mean, I could stand here for an hour and talk to you about all of the different ways we reward them. There's nothing like the bond you can have with a killer whale. It's the most rewarding experience. It's constantly building. Anybody who comes to SeaWorld witnesses it, and you can't really get it until you see it.
I think it'll be very evident as the audience actually comes into the stadium how new this show really is. It's really like we've gone from black and white to color.
Color is a huge element within this show. We really wanted to introduce color into this show, so much so that we now are saturating it with color.
This is the spectrum of color that's in the set. So we had some idea of the finish and also the color range that we're going to be using in the actual set. One of the things that wanted to be brought forward was this sense of majesty and awe of Shamu. And one of the colors that I personally associate with royalty is this really beautiful regal purple color. Purple has become the underlying component color. It's sort of like strength and dignity and royalty. And so it's the underlying color that's in everything in the set. I think it's really beautiful. One of the things that's a big change for the environment is the idea of putting this beautiful sunrise into the whale tail. It has these really sumptuous, bright yellows and oranges. There's also some turquoise colors into it as well.
It's the sun rising off of the ocean, which is great because the ocean is actually a wondrously colorful place.
It's kind of full spectrum, kind of like life is.
We have a variety of new things that are going to be very exciting and immersive for the audience. We have brand new water effects.
There's a number of waterfalls and also new fountains that are being worked into the design.
They're very up close and immersive, and they're very exciting and very dynamic. They're choreographed to music.
We're using all these aquaography, if you will, to introduce to the whales to be able to dance and play within the water.
The integration of the whales and the fountains within the set and then the trainers, it's quite complicated.
The whales actually do get to interact with the fountains, and I think the trainers here are very excited about that because it's a new element that we haven't really done before.
Water is very important within our splash section, when the whales are actually splashing, so we make that connection to the audience. Most of the people who come, they want to be splashed, they want to get wet, and that's an important element in this.
costumes really are kind of, the icing on the cake.
They shared with me the initial concept, which was that they're media walls, all the images that are going to be projected, and there were beautiful images of water and sunsets and all these great textures. So I took all of that and the color palette from it and tried to instill it into this one particular design. So when we originally started, I came up with 3 designs that were vastly different from each other. And the one that was chosen was number 1.
She came up with this beautiful silhouette, this beautiful design in this sort of blues and purples with a gorgeous sort of whale tail silhouette on the chest of the trainer's cover-ups.
Well, and it's very organic to the show, and again, what that symbol really means to us, and it's really that sense of stewardship for the global environment, really taking care of the environment, and that's really kind of what the whale tail is for us.
For an animal trainer, a wetsuit is just part of our job. So for us, it's really about functionality. It's what we work in each and every day.
Because these costumes are going to be in saltwater, they need to have extra costumes per trainer. That way they can be washed very frequently, and we can avoid the look of faded costumes, which might happen with saltwater. The prototype that you're seeing is actually the first mock-up that we did. It is far from what the final product will be. When somebody's trying to lift a design from a piece of paper and put it on a real body in 3D, it comes up with its own challenges. So therefore, we need to see it the first time around. It's never the right thing, but it's our starting off point.
We're portraying the whole show a little uniquely because the costumes here are going to be in full color.